Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sharita, the Behavior and Literacy Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for both your child's behavior and literacy challenges. Y'all, feels like a Saturday to me. Happy Friday. Feels like a Saturday to me. And I'm even acting like it's a Saturday. I just put some deep conditioner in my hair and then came down here to work. It's still hanging out. Got to rinse it and finish up my hair. But the kids are home from school. They only had school for 2 days this week, and they've been home. So it's really feeling like a Saturday. It's been feeling like the weekend all week. Okay, but I got a good one for y'all today. All right. Let me, because sometimes I forget to tell y'all this. Let you know a little bit about me, who I am, and what I do. I am the behavior and literacy strategist. I coach kids with literacy and behavior challenges, okay, and then I teach. But I was a teacher and I was a special education teacher in the classroom, and I also was a mental health specialist. I worked at UMDNJ in Newark, New Jersey. So that is my background. But I work from home because I decided to combine behavioral growth and academic growth together, because I realized years ago that a lot of kids will act out a lot and become very distracted, unfocused, and sometimes even aggressive when it was time for them to do their schoolwork. If they couldn't read it, they couldn't write it, if they couldn't spell it, if they couldn't spell, if they're worried about failing, if they're worried about getting their answers wrong, needing a lot of one-on-one help, they didn't feel confident, that it was hard to teach them, because it's really hard to teach and handle behavior at the same time. So I was a mental health specialist when I noticed this connection, because we were helping the kids with their homework and they were falling apart, and I realized these kids couldn't read. That's why they acting like this, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to become a teacher in the classroom, and I was really thinking about it, but I love my job. And then I became a mom. Jazzy Jazz was born. And I was finding that I was working long hours, and I wanted to be home with her. You know, I was still nursing her, and I wanted to get home by the end of the day. But if one of our kids, the patients, one of our kids, because I didn't look at them as patients. I didn't look at them like that. But if they had a meltdown, if there was a crisis, next thing you know, I was on my way to the ER. You know what I mean? And it was just taking too much time. I wanted to be a teacher because I felt like teachers had a lot of time. You finish at 3, you off in summer. I realized that's not the case once I became a teacher. But that's why I wanted to do it. That's what prompted me to actually make the move. To go ahead and become a teacher, because I wanted to be home and spend more time with my baby. You know what I'm saying? So then when I was in the classroom, since I had a strong behavioral background, behavior modification background, I taught my kids both. I taught my kids academically, and I also taught them behaviorally. We had behavior lessons. I was mixing the two. Okay, and I even do that now with my teaching. If we have a writing prompt, is designed to grow them behaviorally. And I noticed and I realized, hello, Jillian, welcome. Thank you for joining. We're going to talk today about mini successes. Mini successes, getting your kids started on having a mini success. One mini success can be a game changer. And I got a little story to tell you. Okay? So I was just talking a little bit about how I learned to combine behavior growth and academic growth. You really can't do one by itself. If you have a child who acts out and becomes very distracted, and they're very good at it, okay, when it comes time to do their work or their schoolwork or reading, is something that they are doing that, they really become distracted and they are giving up. There's no way to help them move forward academically unless you address the behaviors, unless you help them develop that confidence and stop using the behaviors and and these behaviors that are getting in the way of their academic growth. They've been using them for so long to get out of doing their work, to prolong it, to get adults frustrated, mom frustrated, teachers frustrated. They've been using it so long and it works so well, it becomes a habit to them. So that needs to be addressed. But then you can't just address behavior if the fact that they can't read or they can't function independently when it's time to do their work is something that they deal with every day. If that's never addressed and you just address the behavior, then they're still going to feel the same way and they're going to just keep trying to go back to it. So I just combine both. You grow children behaviorally and academically. Fill in all the places in their literacy foundation is missing. What should they have learned that they have not learned? What should they have mastered by now? What's holding them back? You know what I mean? And they're learning new stuff every year, but they don't have a foundation. Make sure that they have a strong foundation, and then we work up from there. Okay? And at the same time, we're addressing behaviors that are getting in the way of their academic success. So that's what I do, y'all. And my program, my students, I love my students, and I love the moms in my program as well. And we making it happen, all right? So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about one of my most recent students in a second. What is a mini success? A mini success is something small that your child can't do right now, that we're working with them and helping them figure out. They move from I can't do it to I mastered it. I can't do it to I figured it out. I can't do it to I can do it now. I couldn't read this word yesterday, but today when I reviewed it, I got it. You know what I mean? Or a few minutes later, right? I have trouble. I always forget to put the periods at the end of the sentence, so I don't know where the period goes in a paragraph. I remember when I used to have that problem, Mom. Remember when I couldn't, Miss Sharita tell me, remember when I couldn't put the periods in the right place? I could do it now. That makes kids feel so good. But these are many successes that when we help kids achieve them, they start to become hungry for the next success. So get your child, help your child achieve a mini success to get the party started. You gotta get this party started right, y'all. If your child is stuck in one place because they're so used to getting things wrong, help them get something right, okay? And when they get that thing right, lose your mind, okay? Like I do. You just lose your mind, okay? So one of my newest students who just started, he's in high school. He's my first high school student. And he couldn't read his goal, okay? Because all my students have behavior goals and literacy goals. And you have to be able to read it on your own, and you have to know it. You have to be working on it every day. So if I ask you, Miss Sharita, to be like, what's your goals? You got to be able to tell me. You know what I mean? You got to know what they mean. You have to be working on them, okay? And also, if I see you working on your goal, I'm going to give you props, right? So he had a hard time with his goal because he's a struggling reader. And it's write a cohesive paragraph with correct capitalization and punctuation, okay? So punctuation he was struggling a little bit on, but he recognized that word, so he's able to do that. But that word cohesive, he was having a lot of trouble with it. Now, when we work in my group, my students are always writing, and then I'll teach them how to edit their own work, and we're always fixing our own mistakes, but we kind of talk about it out loud, and we keep it moving. You know what I mean? Next one, right? So he wasn't used to this. So when everybody does their writing and they read their writing out loud and everything, we have a little discussion. I'm like, okay, anybody have any words they want to check the spelling on and see if they spelled it right, or they know they didn't spell it right and they want to fix it right now. So he kind of like withdrew a little bit because, hey, Miss Sharita, you putting me on blast. You know what I mean? You put your kids on blast like that? Yes, I do. Right? But it's for a reason though. Because if we allow our kids to withdraw into the back and never talk out loud about stuff that they get wrong and never go after it, then they're going to stay stuck like that. That's been his habit for probably years, okay? He's in the 9th grade now, all right? But at the same time, I provide a space where they feel safe enough to do this, okay? So he was quiet. He didn't say he got anything wrong. When I saw his work later, because they have to take pictures of their work and text it to me, he got quite a few words wrong in his writing. So I said, all right, what am I gonna do about this? I gotta make sure that next time he don't go in the back and not, you know, and say nothing. I didn't get anything wrong. Plus, another one of my students who've been there with me for a little bit, she was very confident. Nope, I didn't get any spelling words wrong. And I told her, you're going to have to start using more advanced vocabulary, because you can't, Miss Sharita class can't be easy for you, okay? Right? But that, imagine how that made him feel. So, I worked with him on it, but before I did it, I said, here, and this was another, I was asking for feedback from the class, and he was, when we said the right answer, he was like, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it. I said, look, man, we get stuff wrong here all the time. We always getting stuff wrong. And then we figure it out, and we keep going till we get it right. So you don't have to ever feel like you don't want to say an answer out loud because maybe it's wrong, because we do it all the time. You don't have to ever feel like, you know, you're not sure if you want to read aloud in front of us because you might make a mistake, because we make mistakes every day and we go after it, okay? We love making mistakes, because when we make mistakes, we figure out how to correct it. We figure, but if we never go after it and get it wrong, we won't know what our, you know, issue was, or what we need to correct, or what, you know, and we won't learn the right way. They're like, man, you know, you get stuff wrong all the time. We always get stuff wrong. Miss Sharita gets stuff wrong all the time, okay? In my life, you know how many things I've gone after in my life and figured it out? That's my motto. Like, I'm going to get stuff wrong, I'm going to bang it up on the way there, but I'm going to figure it out, okay? I'm going to always figure it out. So, you know, he's feeling more comfortable, plus other things that's going on in the group. And yesterday, he's been in the group for 3 days. And yesterday was the first time he was able to read his whole goal by himself and get it right. And y'all should have seen his face, okay? He was so happy and proud of himself. And I'm over here losing my mind like, yes, what a champ. Man, you did that. You got that word today. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it up, man. That's what we do here, all right? He felt so good. That's just a sentence, y'all. But the first day we worked on it when I did his orientation. And then he worked on it in the group. But he's still nervous about getting it wrong. Hey, Atisha, welcome. What's up, girl? We talking about getting, making sure our kids accomplish a mini success. And it's what we do with that mini success that's important, okay? So he was worried, Atisha, about getting it wrong the first day in front of people. So I had to make him feel comfortable about that, but I'm not going to not give it to him. I'm not going to not tell him the next day to read it again, because we're going to keep reading it again until we get it right. Every day is not going, my students learn that, it's not going away, okay? Miss Sharita is never going to be like, all right, well, never mind, we'll do it another time, or whatever. That's all right, you worked hard enough on it. No, it's not going away. We actually go after whatever we don't get the first time, or whatever we don't know yet. And I tell them all the time, if you don't know it, you will know it. I got this. Then I tell them to say, I got this. If I don't know, I will know. All right? So every day, and just keep going at it until you get it right. Another thing is, he wasn't really doing his work at school. And then when it was time for him to do his paragraph, he's not in a habit, because my students always have to write and they always have to work. He's not in a habit of doing his work, and he's in a habit, and he's used to getting stuff wrong and thinking he's going to spell it wrong, so he's not really putting that much effort. But his paragraphs were very good. I texted his mom, and I tell him, I said, his paragraphs today was all that in a bag of chips, okay? He said, excellent, okay? So having a confidence, but he's moving forward and doing his work. He's writing more, he's doing more, just because he was able to read his goal out loud and get it correctly on his own, get it correct on his own. One mini success leads to other mini successes. All of them added up, it turns into a huge success. Now you have changed your child's mindset from a help mindset, a failure mindset, to a success mindset, an achievement mindset, a growth mindset, okay? It starts with one achievement. I couldn't read my goal at first, but now I can read it, okay? That's what I'm talking about, y'all. We love it, okay? Love it. It could be anything. It could be sight words, okay? Knowing the sight words. In my kids, I give them a lot of sight words. We do sight words also. We live, breathe, and, you know, sight words, sight words, sight words. And we'll read a whole bunch of them together. And we'll just keep reading. Every time we meet, we doing it again, right? But when they see how they couldn't read the first column of sight words on that level, and then this time they can, and then now they go to the next level and they were able to read the next column, but there's a couple in there they can't read. We work on those, and then the next time they come, they got those, and then the next time every time they get so competitive. Okay, they get so competitive because I talk junk to my students. I'm like, so you talking all that junk. I don't know if you're going to be able to get to column 4 today. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You ain't going to be able to get, you think you fresh as me? You're not going to be able to get to column 4 today. I'm like, what? Miss Sharita, I'm going to get to column 4. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to go to column 5. I'm like, what? Yeah, right. And they just get so competitive, and they want to do because they mastered that first column. There's only 5, 6 words in that first column. That's a mini success. You get the party started by helping them achieve something that is small to you, but big to them. If they can't do it right now, it's huge to them. It's huge, okay? And it could be a reason that a child will withdraw. It could be a reason why a child will just not want to do their homework at all because they know there's something that's going to be wrong in it or something that they can't do by themselves, something that's going to be hard, and they just get frustrated when it fall apart. Understand these kids don't like to fail, and they will go above and beyond and do all kind of stuff to avoid that feeling. So that's all we got to do. We just got to flip it. Instead of having them feel like they failing, have them feel like they're succeeding. When they succeed and they do that one thing, like do that one column, they're able to do the next 2 words they couldn't get before in that second column. Like, oh, you got it. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Or the sentence, like really getting excited. And then, I don't care how old you are. He's in high school. And he was smiling. He was happy. You know what I mean? Because he was able to do it. And we were excited for him. That's a total different experience than seeing a sentence, not knowing how to read it, not trying to read out loud, and then if you do try to read it aloud, not being able to get to success. He must get to success. Our kids must get to success. If they don't know it right now, they have to know it. Make sure that you think this way and you incorporate this or instill this in your kids. They have to. If they don't know it, they have to know it. Because every time they get an answer wrong, they feel like a failure. Nah, we're not having that. We're not having our kids feel like failures. We're not having that. We're going to make it happen, all right? So think about it, moms. What is it? What is something that your child's struggling on? And think about something small, okay? What is something that your child is struggling on they can't do right now that you want to give them? And that can be like a gift. And I don't mean give them like do it for them. Because I don't. Y'all know I'm all about having kids function independently, right? You know what I'm saying, Julie? And Tisha in the house. You know, all about having kids function independently. So I don't do anything. I make them work. I make them work. And if they was in the classroom, because my program is online, right? But if we're in the classroom together, man, when I was in the classroom, I had my students, I had an aide in the classroom, a paraprofessional. And she didn't do much. She was sitting down all day. Kids was doing everything. They was cleaning the class. They was organizing. They were like cutting stuff out that needed to be hung on the walls. They was collecting papers. They were passing out papers. They was going to the office to pick up the new paper, you know, that they give the teachers, right? The little allotment of papers they were getting, right? They were doing everything. We have to have them work. When they work, they grow. When they work, they grow. Okay? So I approach it the same way, teaching them how to read, teaching them how to spell, write better. I don't do it for them at all, and they have to work. They have to look at their own work and figure out their own mistakes. I have strategies that I use to teach them to do that, but they work. They work hard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do it for them, but they do it themselves. And you know how they feel when they conquer it after they've worked and got it themselves? Oh my goodness. You can't tell them nothing. They really start talking junk. I talk junk too. That's why I be starting it. Jolene says, my daughter, she's really struggling right now. She's in 1st grade. Oh, that's a good grade to start. But she struggled to read, and she's struggling right now. Yeah, that's the. And how does she feel? I know that's a struggle for you, watching her struggle, right? As moms, we don't like when our kids are struggling and they feel stuck, and we see it affecting their self-esteem. And that's really, I say that all the time, like that's the real reason to, if they are reading below grade level and they can't read something on their own, and they can't do their homework on their own and can't function independently, the biggest reason to do it is not just so they can do good in school and get good grades. It's not just so they can be successful later on in life. It's because right now they're hurting. It's affecting their self-esteem right now. They want to be able to. I haven't met a kid yet that is even quiet kids that won't raise their hand and really want to say the answer when they know it. All of them. But if they're struggling, they will withdraw. You can even have a kid that's very outgoing and like to talk to people and like to do things. They could be a go-getter. They could be really smart. But in this area, they'll never master these areas in their literacy foundation, so that's why it's holding them back. And their personality is totally different when it's time for them to do their work and read. Right? Right, Julie? Yeah, this is a big deal, right? We don't want our kids feeling like that. We don't want them struggling. But here's the thing, like I'm tough on my kids, my own kids too. I got 2. All right, we had Jazzy, and 10 years later we had Maya. So we got it's like we have an only child all over again. Right? So I'm tough on them too. And Maya know my little saying, you give me what I want, then I give you what you want. Right? So I make my kids work for what they want. And I didn't at first as a mom. I didn't. I struggled with that, and I had to fix that. I had to flip the script on myself, y'all. Okay? But my students too. Like I'm tough on them. I'm tough on them because you got to be tough so they can get past all the things that they used to usually do and they're used to doing to get out of doing their work. You have to be tough on them. You can't accept any excuses because they're going to run. But once they know that they can't run and they have to face it, that's when the real work begins. That's when they're like, oh, I love this. You know, I had one of my students who was fighting me when it was time for him to read a story because of the strategies I use, and I make him work. And he was like, oh, he's looking over, trying to be distracted, and I'm getting on him. I'm like, come on back. Don't go nowhere. What you looking back for? You know what I mean? Your goal is pay attention to detail. Let's go. I get on him. And he go from fighting and everything, but then once he start conquering those words, and he's reading, he goes to the next paragraph, he can read it by himself, and the next paragraph he can read it by himself, and then he come back to class the next day, he's like, can we read? Totally different, y'all, okay? Many successes lead to other many successes. So a word in this sentence that he couldn't read, then he can read it. And then now he wants to read the next one. Get this party started, okay? Julie says, so true. My daughter loves to talk. When she's easy to get distracted, she loves to play. So she loves to talk. She loves to play. And this is something that is a beautiful thing. You're watching a kid play and have a good time, and they love to talk and everything. And you know, you have a conversation with them, right? But the same thing that's beautiful in this setting, when it's time for them to do their work, they'll use that to get out of doing their work. I don't want to work. I want to play. I just want to talk instead. Or I want to talk to the kids around me, the other students, instead of doing my work, right? So we notice this, and then it becomes a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's not really the issue. The issue is that they don't have the structure. They can't, we can't let them be all over the place when it's time for them to do their work, because they develop these habits and stuff. We got to take care of that. But at the same time, once we take care of that, we can get at the real issue. We give her the ability to sit down and when she get to a book, a word that she can't read, know what to do with it. That's the game changer. That reminds me of my other student. Mom sent me a video of him reading a book out loud. Okay? And this is the same student who in the beginning he used to cry and throw tantrums and whenever it was time for him to read. And he was giving me a hard time, but I was right with him. Y'all know I ain't scared no kid doing no tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to do it, even if he don't want to log on or whatever. Miss Sharita will come find you. Okay, so I don't back down either. And all of that hard work and all of that resistance and getting him to a place where after we pass all that, where he's reading, and then to see him how it's not just the fact that he could read the book. And when he was going through it, if he was finding a word that he didn't know yet, how he stopped and he figured out. He said, hold on. He said, wait, hold on. I'm about to work on this. You know what I'm saying? He said, hold on. And then he worked on it until he figured it out, right? And he kept on going. He didn't ask for help. He didn't quit. He didn't say, I can't do it. He didn't say, try to get mom. He didn't say, what's this word? He didn't do none of that. Okay, because my student's not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that, okay? Right? But that's one part of it. The other part is how good he felt while he was reading. You know what a gift it is for a kid to be able to open a book and be interested in the book, and they can see the pictures and they love the pictures, and then they can read it themselves and they get immersed in the book. That's a gift. And at the end, when he was finished, he closed the book and he was cracking up about it, talking about it and everything. He was so happy. That's what I'm talking about. They fight and everything. That's fine. Get them that success, the mini successes in the beginning, and then they lead to bigger successes, which leads to the overall goal. Julie says, "So true. My daughter loved to talk." Oh yeah, I read that already. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, and my daughter, I got talkative. They get that from me. My husband's not very talkative at all, but the girls, woo, and talking during the movie. I feel sorry for my husband. And me and Jazzy, we feel like we like Sherlock Holmes up in here, y'all. Because we always like, if it's a mystery, we be feeling like we know what's going to happen at the end. Now, me and her watch a movie together, we be like, wait a minute, we'll pause it and be like, so I think that this is going to happen because this and this and this and this. We be talking to each other and stuff, and then at the end, we try to see who was right or who figured it out. What? We love it. My husband don't love that mess. Like, he don't want us to say nothing. Soon as we start, he be like, wait till the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, yeah, and that's her personality. She's just, she loves to talk and everything. So, but the thing is that in the moment when she's supposed to be doing her work, is that something that she should do? Is that helping her grow, or is that keeping her stuck? And that's how y'all make your decisions, moms. If your child's doing something in a moment, like this is their personality, this is what they do. Is this what they're doing right now helping them grow and get to the next level, or is it actually keeping them stuck? If it's keeping them stuck, they gotta learn to structure it. They gotta learn what I call self-party, self-awareness, self-control, self-accountability, self-motivation, and self-discipline. They have to learn to have this self-party, y'all, okay? So that they can accomplish the goal at hand, okay? So that's the deal with the mini successes I wanted to talk to y'all about. Like focus on one thing at a time. And when you find a mini success that you can help your child achieve, and I don't mean, when I say help, I don't mean do it. I don't mean give it to them, because you want to take those training wheels off the bike. If you help your child, and every time they come across something they don't know, you practically giving it to them, and then now they feel better in the moment because they don't have to deal with it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is equipping them so that they could use the same strategy the next time and figure it out on their own eventually, and take those training wheels off, and then they riding all down the street. You can't even keep up with them. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. We want them training wheels off. Make sure you take the training wheels off as soon as they start the program. They be like, but my teacher let us look back at the story to find the answer. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your teacher. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. But my teacher's doing it. We doing this math in school, but we don't have to do it by herself. And my teacher only used one problem or one number, and you using 3. I said, yeah, because this is my class. It's my class. And I challenge my students based on where they at. So if that's what you're doing at school, that's easy for you now. And if I know you know how to do that, we doing the next level. We going to the next level. All right. Julie says, what's a good strategy to help her do better when it's time for her to do her homework? She's tired. She's sleepy. What's a good way to help her? Well, the tired and the sleepy, and 2 things I want to address. One is a good way to help her. Set things up so that she can help herself. Set things up so she can help herself. And why I say that? Because as moms, it's tough for moms because we take good care of our children and we nurture them and we make sure they're okay. When they're sick, we take care of them. That don't really work out good when it's time for them to do their homework. It don't. Because they be wanting us to still be like that. And then to them, that means make me feel better and make things easier for me. So she has to help herself. She has to still, and I was just doing this with a consultation. A mom, her daughter is starting on the 9th. Yeah, she's starting on the 9th. I was just talking about this. She has to learn how to do it herself, and she has to have the attitude that she's going to, or the knowledge that she's accountable for her own work. So instead of helping her, she has to help herself. That's one thing, and that mindset, approaching it that way. Number 2, if she's sleepy, if she's tired, are these the things that she's saying every time it's time for her to do her work? Is she saying, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, when it's time for her to do her work? Are these the things? If this is what she's saying, ask yourself, is she always sleepy or tired, or did this work the first time to get mom to come in, get you to come in and help her, or be concerned about her being tired, right? So I'm just going to keep saying it every time. Because I've had kids say that over and over and over again. And once you remove the, she said yes. Oh, so she's saying this every time? Yeah. Once you remove that as an excuse, right? Once you remove that as an excuse, this is sleep time, right? And this is homework time, okay? There's not, when my students sit down and do their work with me, there's nothing, they can't really do nothing except work, okay? Because I'm improving their focus stamina. I'm improving their self-control. They have to sit in their seat. They have to be on point. When I get to you, I want you to be on point and ready for me, right? So she's not taking complete responsibility for her work when she sits down. If she's saying, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, that means I don't want to do it, okay? She said she don't want to do anything. She don't want to do it, right? So you got to make that sleepy and tired thing something that's not even anything that you pay attention to, that she can't even say. All right. Just like in my program, I don't allow my students to say, I can't do it. It's hard. I don't know. They can't say, I don't know. Like, you can't say, I don't know. If I tell them, I say, how you think you spell this word? I don't know. You don't say that here. You don't say, I don't know. How you think you spell it? Right? Throw it back on her. Throw that responsibility right back on her. Okay? When it's homework time, she's supposed to show up a certain way. Figure out what you want her to do at homework time. Expect her to do it. But that is just a way of getting out of doing her work. Okay? Now, of course, that has to be customized to find out a lot more about what's going on during homework time and to set up a customized structure just for her. But you know your child. You know what you want her to accomplish. You know when it's time for her to do her homework, what she going to do, what she going to complain about, what she going to say, right? So think about that before. Think about that today before the next homework time. And think about what she does and what you do. And what she does and what you do. And when she does this, when she says this is what I do. But this is how I help her. Right? And try to figure out an alternative way so that she's taking responsibility for her homework time. Because she has to do it. She has to do it herself. Even if she gets it wrong, it's okay. She has to do it, and then whatever she has wrong, gets wrong, or thinks she got wrong, she can review it later. But she has to do it. We have to have. I was about to do another live on this, y'all, so I might do another live after this. I was gonna say we must stop doing this thing during homework. Okay, when it's time for our children to do their homework, we have to stop doing this. This is like a big mistake that we moms do. I've done it. You know what I mean? A lot of moms do it, and you have to understand when you're doing it, what your child is thinking, and that is sitting right next to them when they're doing their homework. Sitting right next to them when they're doing their homework. All right, I know y'all might think I'm bugging, right? But I've taught kids as young as 5 years old to sit down and do their homework by themselves without any adults around them sitting right next to them. Okay? All right? He says, thanks a lot. By the way, I love your hair. Oh, thank you so much. I jumped out the shower. This is the conditioner, deep conditioner that I never rinsed out. I had an appointment. Yeah. I had an appointment, so I just put it in there, and I said I'm gonna jump out and I'm gonna do my appointment, and I rinse it out when I come back. You know how we gotta get our hustle on. We do what we gotta do, right? Moms working, whatever, right? Your daughter's 6 years old, but it's hard for her to sit down to do her homework. She always has something else to do. Yeah, she don't want to, and she's used to it. You gotta break that. The way that she does her homework is the focus. If she's struggling to read, if that's not addressed, she'll never read. She'll never read better. Kids learn a lot better when they learn how to focus. And we can teach them how to focus. It's not hard to teach kids how to focus. I call that focus stamina. Improving and developing focus stamina. That's how long a child can remain focused on a task without becoming distracted by or creating distractions in their environment. We could teach them that, okay? We could definitely teach them. But what did I want to say? Oh, yes, sitting next to our children, my battery running low, sitting next to our children when they're doing their homework. We don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be doing that. When we do that, it's a shared responsibility. There's two big reasons why I want to say don't do that. Number one is the shared responsibility. They don't think that their homework is their responsibility, and they're going to put less and less effort into it, and they're going to try to get you to do more and more and more. Okay, and I'm saying this from experience. Okay, as a mother, and I've been working with kids since I'm the oldest of 7 kids myself. Okay, but since I was in college, and then when I, now up until now, and as mental health special education teacher, when I've taught many kids how to sit by themselves and do their work, no matter their reading level, no matter what their struggle is. When they are not sitting by themselves, and we are sitting, especially with moms, we're sitting next to them, then they learn that when it's time for them to do their work, they don't have to do it by themselves, and they're always going to have help. And we don't want our children to have a help mindset. We want them to have a growth and achievement mindset. So that's the first one. The other one is, if they, every time it's time to do their homework, want us, moms, to sit next to them. We can't walk away to go in the kitchen and do what we need to do. We can't cook dinner. We splitting our focus all over the place. And we feel like we got ADHD because we can't focus, but because they keep trying to get our attention, and we need to do this. Especially if you got multiple kids, you running over here to help this one, help this one, help this one, help this one. Man, right? What you think they're gonna do in the classroom? Same thing. All right? They're gonna want a teacher or a paraprofessional to be right there next to them, helping them, and like, I'm gonna wait for you to come and help me, because I'm not gonna do it myself. And if you make me wait too long, I'm gonna act up and distract the class. Or if you are helping another child and I want the attention on me, I'm gonna distract the class and act up. Or if I don't feel like doing the work, I'm gonna act up so you can focus on that instead of making me do my work. So we moms at home can make a big impact. Okay, imagine whatever you're doing at home, experiencing at home. Imagine that playing out in the classroom, and then you can make some adjustments. Okay, so teaching your child to do their homework independently, and it can be done. I've done it over and over and over again. Is another gift to give them at this young age, because especially when your baby, she's at first grade, it's a great age to start, because then that won't limit their growth academically, and then they'll be more prepared and equipped to function independently in the classroom, which is our goal here. Okay, and we don't want this to keep going on year and year and after year after year after year. All right. Okay, so yeah, good questions, and thank you so much, Julie, for your comments. You know what I mean? Because it's always best when we talk together. We're a bunch of moms that want the best for our children, but we willing to figure it out. You know what I mean? We're gonna do what we need to do at home and figure out what to do, and we creating champions over here. We creating champions. It doesn't matter if your child is diagnosed with ADHD, or if they're on medication, or if they're in special ed, or what have you. It doesn't matter. And one of my students' mom just texted me some of his work. We was just on the phone, and our goal was for him to transition out of special education, and he needed a one-on-one aid. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. I don't believe in that, y'all. Well, before y'all start, a lot of stuff I say is very different and confrontational. I gotta let y'all know, you know, it might not be what a lot of people think, but I don't believe in that. I believe in kids having paraprofessionals to help them sit down, focus, help them with their work. And I've got into it with a couple of mine in the past, because I'm like, if you spell it for them now, you're gonna be spelling for them the whole year. We're not going to do that. Okay? All right? So, yes, it's important to make sure that they are functioning independently and not getting help for every little thing. Because I lost my train of thought. I might get it back. So, Julie says, I have to have my daughter, I have to sit next to her. Most of the moms that I talk to and come to my program say the same thing. Especially when she's doing her work, so doing subtraction and addition. Okay, right. And I learned something today, so we always have to sit down next to her to do her homework. Right. And that's what, and moms always say, I feel like if I don't stay right there, it won't get done. And every time I walk away, she starts moving around. When I come back, it's not done. Big question. Don't you think she knows that? Behavior is a form of communication, all right? It has a purpose, and it needs an audience to survive. It's a form of communication, it has a purpose, and it needs an audience to survive. When I say behavior, I'm talking about avoidance behavior, negative attention-seeking behavior, distracted behavior. It's all of it is a form of communication. So when she starts getting distracted and acting, not doing it and doing all that, she's telling you, Mom, if you're not right next to me, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? If you walk away, then I'm really not going to do it. The only way I'm going to do this, Mom, is if you're right here next to me and helping me. You got to change her language. Even if it is in her head and just in her behavior. You got to change her language. Give her a whole new language, right? Give her a whole new language, okay? Because that's what she's communicating to you. She's communicating, if you don't do this, then I won't do that. And that's why moms feel that way, because their kids are actually conveying that in their behavior. They're setting it up so that you'll feel that, because they want you to come back. They want you to come back and sit next to them. So that's why they keep doing it over and over. Again, we got to teach our kids to function independently. Our children are champions. They are amazing. And they don't know it because they're focusing on the wrong thing. Okay? And when you teach them to do stuff independently, it's a world of difference. Okay? And I got examples all day. We could be on here for 2 more hours. Okay? Because I got examples all day of kids being independent. And my youngest daughter, who's 4, and she, in the morning, she picks out her own clothes at night. In the morning, she gets up you know, when I wake her up, she give me a big hug and kiss. She uses the bathroom. She dresses herself. She packs her own snack. She puts it in her book bag. You know, and she's ready to rock and roll. Meanwhile, she doing all that, I can jump in the shower. With my first daughter, I was doing everything, and I ain't had time. I just show up at the school looking crazy, okay? Because I ain't do nothing for myself, and I just rolled out the door. You know what I mean? Trying to get her in there. So it's the world of difference. And I noticed that my youngest daughter is like particular about her clothes. If she take them off, she put them right in the hamper, because I taught her that too. Instead of just taking them off, throwing them on the floor, waiting for me to pick them up. So let them do it. Expect them to do it. But yeah, y'all, we are doing this from home. We're making changes from home. I've done it professionally, and I've done it as a mom. So there's no way that I would believe that any kid can't do it. I don't care if they've been doing it for years. Oh, that's what I was talking about. My student who the goal was for him to lose his aid, function independently. And of course, read on grade level, read a function on grade level, improve his writing, a bunch of stuff in his action plan. And his mom is texting me, and he's texting me pictures of his grades, and he is getting hundreds on his tests. And he was talking, he's like, Miss Sharita, I did what you told me to. I studied my words for my test. I went over them 4 times, Miss Sharita. I went over them 4 times. And then I asked one of my friends to test me. And when I went to bed at night, I had a good feeling I was going to get 100 on that test. I was like, you go, boy. You go, boy. And he's getting his grades. She said his grades are doing so good. He's getting really good grades. We were talking about going on the honor roll, all of us. I don't care if you're a special ed. I don't care if you have been diagnosed with ADHD or medication. None of that stuff concerns me. It's just about what are we achieving here? We can achieve anything. I would never believe that a kid can't do it. If they have a lot of bad behavior issues, you know what I mean? I will never believe that that's temporary. That's not him for the rest of his life. That's just what he's doing right now. Okay? I'm very hard-headed. I'm very hard-headed, y'all. I'm about to call my mom and be like, Mom, how'd you put up with me all these years? Because I just don't believe it. Like, you know, I'm very headstrong, and we're going to figure this out. Julie says I'm going to work on it, and have to do everything for my little one. Maybe it's because she's the only one I don't know. But maybe because she's the only one. Yes! Let me tell you, Julene, Jazzy was the only one for 10 years. So I know about that. Okay? And it was to my second one, I was like, you bugging. I told myself, you bugging. You know what I'm saying? It took me to have a second child to get my act together. Jazzy was the only child for a long time. That means she got all your attention. Julie, that means your daughter got all your attention. And that means that she's going to want all your attention. And that means when she goes to school, she's going to want all the teacher's attention, right? So it's good to have her become independent. Yeah, you spoil them. That's our baby. You know how many kisses I give my 4-year-old? Oh my gosh. That's our baby, right? They need to function independently. They need to. So my youngest one, I'm doing much better, and because I balance it. I'm not just overcompensating. I'll do anything. I'll bake, and we'll spend time together and love you and all this other stuff and do things. Let's go here, let's go do there. But I also get her behind when I need to. You know what I mean? And it's because of that she's doing so well. Her teacher is like, she literally said that Maya is everything you want your child to be when she goes to school. I was like, what? Because I was working on that at home. We were working on that. All of us, me, her father, her older sister, working on her. The biggest thing was working on her sitting down. She didn't want to sit down. Work on her sitting down when it's time for her to eat, and teaching her how to write her letters. Yesterday she joined my class, my early learning class yesterday, and I was surprised to see that, okay, all that hard work paying off, because I just said, okay, write a sentence. I didn't know I challenge kids all the time. Write a sentence, and what sentence you want to write. And then she said it, and then I was like, okay, what's the first word? And I asked her, so what sounds that begin with? And she started spelling the word. I worked with her over the summer, but now it's all coming together. And she could hang. She didn't spell every word right, but she got 2 letters out of the 3 on most words. You know what I mean? So that's because I made her behind sit down. Okay? You can be smart and know stuff, but when I was teaching her to sit down and write, because instead of just learning, I had her in an online school, right? One of those homeschool onlines, and I took that off because she's so smart. She know a lot, and decided what she really needs to work on is sitting down and write and learn how to write her letters, learn how to write her numbers, and learn how to write her name, okay? And learning what to do when mommy and daddy are talking on the phone and how to be patient. It's customized, y'all. Whatever your child needs, that's what you work on. And it paid off. So I understand, but like I said, she's at a young age right now. Get started now. But then I say that but I have a student that's in 9th grade, just started, and he's already making progress too in his first week. So it doesn't matter what age you start, just matters that you start and that it's customized, and that you have faith that it's going to work out. And your child your child is amazing. When they're first born, you're like, oh, look at my baby, it's amazing, I'm so grateful for my baby, thank you, right? Same child, even when they bugging and acting up, okay? Same child, right? Oh man, I had a ball with y'all today. I had a ball. I'm gonna go upstairs and start cooking dinner, and my first class is at 4 o'clock Eastern time, because I know some of my people, y'all are different time zones, and some of my students too have different time zones. And we have students in the United States, and one is coming, going to be in Jamaica on the 14th. My first student out of the United States. I'm really excited about that. But students from down south, students from up north, students from all over the place. We hanging. We getting in, y'all. We from all over. We about to take over, okay? This is the talking junk missionary. It comes out, y'all. It comes out. It's how I talk to the kids, right? Like, we taking over. This is how we do. We do it. We got this, all right? We changing the game up in here, because I love my babies. They make me happy. Even when they get on my nerves and they want to fight at the end, I feel like I still feel good that that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So they give me drive. Moms are awesome. And moms are awesome. Okay, one of the moms, we did our nails together yesterday. How we do that? She all the way in Illinois, and I'm in New Jersey. but she was having a tough time with him, and I work with them, but me and the moms have relationships too. So I'm like, what you doing tomorrow? You said you off. When the next time you getting your nails done? She's like, I don't know. I said, well, what you doing tomorrow? Because I'm getting mine done. Alright, I'll text you in the morning. We both went and had a nice little pampering day. We had a meeting later on that day, but we pampered ourselves doing nothing. We ain't worried about nothing else, because we taking care of ourselves, okay? And we was texting each other pictures and texting each other about, all right, I'm on my way. All right, I'm finished. My feet in the water. We had a good old time yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They're awesome. They're absolutely awesome, man. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Antisha, for coming to hang with me. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you got a lot out of it. We were hanging here today for a minute. So I hope y'all got a lot out of it. I really enjoyed it. Okay. For more information on my tutoring coaching program, go to growthinstitute.mykajabi.com. That's GROWTH, because that's what we focus on here, y'all. Growth. We're going to the top. We always growing. That's how we do. Okay? Institute.mykajabi.com, or you can send me a direct message. I love to chat with moms and book a free consultation from there. Okay? All right? Thanks again. Believe in yourself, moms. Believe in your child. Always, right? We believe in ourselves, we believe in ourselves, no matter what's going on, no matter what everybody else talking about. Believe in ourselves, we believe in our children, and always remember that growth is unlimited, y'all. Peace.